Alright, greetings folks. We're gonna get started in just a bit as Barosai has connected to the game. It's Beyond Infinity going up against G1-Ex. Beyond Infinity, the team from India on the dire side with G1-Ex from Philippines on the Radiant. It's gonna be a best of one here for the Manila Major SEA Open Qualifiers, and I'm gonna be your host for this day, ClouDx from AFK Gaming. A big shout out and a big thank you to all of you tuning in. Do spread the word and let your friends know that this match is happening on the live stream. Your support would be much appreciated. It's a best of one. One of these two teams is going to get knocked out. The winner moves on to the round of 16, and it is definitely a long and treacherous road ahead for either of these two teams. Eventually, they're going to have to face up against someone pretty much at the caliber of or above the caliber of a team like Extremist. I believe they made it to the finals of the Shanghai Major Open Qualifiers, if not the finals. I know that they did get to the semi-finals at the very least. But yeah, the point I'm trying to make is they're a really good team, and they are what lies in store ahead for either of these two teams. Beyond Infinity, they've got themselves the first pick. They'll opt to ban out the Doom with the second ban on the board, now going in their favor, while Invoker gets removed from the pool by G1-Ex. I've got to say, my body's been ready for this match. I've been extremely excited for this one. I can't tell you how anxious I am to see what the result of this particular matchup is going to be like. I do apologize if there's any lags that you guys will experience on the stream. My internet does tend to go potato once in a while, so just putting that out there. If there's any issues, I'll try and get them resolved ASAP, so please bear with me. Enchantress will be the second ban, while the Bounty Hunter gets removed from G1-Ex. Now this leaves in the Beastmaster, but Beyond Infinity will go with the winner of 6.87, aka the Lich. We did see TNC running the Lich and Spectre as their dual middle lane. Let's see if Beyond Infinity's picked out a page from their playbook, and if they're going to try something similar here as G1. Now they've got the option to get themselves the Beastmaster and possibly the Night Stalker along with. The reason I like the Beastmaster and the Night Stalker being picked up together is because I feel like the Night Stalker is one of the best ways to deal with the increased vision from the Greater Hawk. The Darkness Vision reduction basically makes Beastmaster spell completely ineffective, and the Flying Vision when you get an Aghanim Scepter on the Night Stalker tends to work wonders. They will open with the Beastmaster. It remains to be seen if they will supplement it with a Night Stalker pick, because we do know that Beyond Infinity likes running the Night Stalker themselves, and if given the opportunity to counter the Beastmaster, I do expect them to pick up the Night Stalker.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
They're really thinking this through. They do have a full 2 minutes on the reserve clock to make a decision here, and they shouldn't really be too hasty. Best of ones are always a very dicey situation. You're walking on thin ice because a single slip up could mean that you get completely knocked out of the tournament, and you're really going to be face farming yourself if it's something that goes wrong during the draft phase as well. A minute and 40 seconds. What are the other options here? If they want to go for something like the Witch Doctor, that is definitely a viable choice. It wouldn't give away too much of what they have in store going forward. I think it would be a mistake for G1 to pick up a core here. I do feel like they'll be giving away their hand a bit too early on in the draft, and that'll allow Beyond Infinity to ban and pick accordingly, which is why I do still favor that Night Stalker pickup, maybe a Witch Doctor or possibly even a Chen, perhaps a Venge even if they want to deal with an incoming Batrider from Beyond Infinity. They'll get the Lion, so as expected, they're not going to give away too much about their draft. The Lion's a good pickup, and there it is, the Night Stalker from Beyond Infinity. Standard stuff so far. They've got the counter to the Beastmaster, they've got the Lich to out-level enemy heroes. They could even run a dual middle lane with the Slow that stacks with the Frost Blast and the Void from the Night Stalker. They've got a good off lane to deal with the Beastmaster if it is going to be a tri-lane with the Lich. What are the next set of bans here now? Beyond Infinity. Now, the last time they ran this Night Stalker, they chose to run it as an offlane one with Barosai handling it. But I do believe that both Zerisbug and No Chance can handle the Night Stalker efficiently as well. For now, G1's going to opt to ban out that Wind Ranger. When a team starts banning out heroes like the Wind Ranger, there's one of two explanations I can think of. Well, there's actually two explanations I can think of, and I think one of those two will apply here. Number one, they're looking to pick up a roaming support as their secondary support, perhaps something like the Earth Spirit, which is why Beyond Infinity might do well to ban that out here. Alternatively, they could be in fear of a particular player on the enemy side. It could be a respect ban coming out towards Swifty, because his Wind Ranger and Templar Assassin have been making waves in solo matchmaking on the SEA servers. So we'll have to wait and see what Beyond Infinity has up their sleeves here. If we do see the Earth Spirit ban, then they're probably on the same page, reading G1-Ex's draft. Now with the full 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock, Beyond Infinity, they're dipping into their own reserve time with their third ban. Still a mystery to be revealed. So offlaner is no longer an option here to be banned out by Beyond Infinity. They should be looking to ban secondary supports. If not the Earth Spirit, the Vengeful might be a suitable ban. Alternatively, they could try and ban out heroes at the middle lane that the Wind Ranger would usually dominate. But yeah, they're going to go with the Viper as the first ban here in the second phase. I like this. Viper did get a few buffs in the latest 6.87 patch. I believe Poison Attack is no longer a unique attack modifier, which means that you can now build items like the Skadi, a Desolator, even if you feel like on a hero like the Viper. Even the Lifesteal wouldn't be a bad choice, really. Given that he is just innately tanky, he's an agility hero with a decent amount of base attack speed, and having Lifesteal just does synergize very well with that Viper. We've got a Nature's Prophet as the fourth ban coming out from G1, so they aren't expecting an offlane Night Stalker here, while the Spectre will be immediately deleted from the pool here by Beyond Infinity. With G1's first two picks, they've got plenty of early aggression that they could mount. The Beastmaster and the Lion bring a ton of lockdown to the map, as well as the vision that allows them to go about ganking, especially during the daytime. Which means that the Spectre would have actually played perfectly into G1-2's draft so far.
Reserve time.
Third pick on the board, 48 seconds on the clock. G1 now boiling it down to the wire. Do they reveal their hand on the middle lane here, or are they going to pick up their secondary support to start things off? Beyond Infinity is well poised to counter whatever G1-2 starts picking up here. We'll have to wait and see what they have in store for us. As for middle lane options, a Puck or a Queen of Pain might not be too shabby on the side of G1. They're going to need some sort of tempo controller that can move with the Beastmaster and the Lion. They'll go with the Wisp for now. So this could be a tiny pickup coming out from them. They could well run dual lanes with the Wisp plus the Tiny at the middle lane and Lion in the safe lane supporting up the hard carry. Beyond Infinity, they've now recognized that the Wisp could be proving a threat at the middle lane. They've got a minute to take a decision here on how to react. I like this curveball being thrown by G1-Ex. I honestly would not have seen that Wisp third pickup coming out from them. It's not every day that you get to see SEA Dota 2 teams revealing the Wisp this early on. But G1's taken a gamble here. They're willing to reveal their wacky support in lieu of giving away what their cores are going to be. And at the moment, there's only one ban available on the side of Beyond Infinity, which means that even if by some stroke of luck they can ban out that Tiny, G1-Ex can replace him with something like a Gyrocopter, maybe even a PA, or any of the other heroes that synergize with that IO pickup. So Beyond Infinity is definitely confused by this. You can see them now thinking this through and burning through their reserve time. They'll go with the Sven, so they don't want to deal with the Wisp plus a Sven duo. And with the armor boosted up from the Sven's Warcry, they will have some of the tools to deal with a Wisp and Tiny, but no, it's going to be a Wisp and a Slark duo here, as G1 picks up their fourth pick in the form of their one position Slark. Now, Beyond Infinity, they do have the tools needed to deal with that Slark. Cleave damage does work well versus Slark when he goes under cover of that Shadow Dance, while the Warcry does help to deal with some of the damage that the Slark outputs. But they don't really have too many lockdowns at this moment. In fact, the Stormhammer is the only real stun that they have, and recognizing that, they'll pick themselves up a Rubik as their fourth pick. So we're probably going to see this as a no chance Rubik, a Zetisbar Glitch, and a Barosai offlane Night Stalker. which leaves Beyond Infinity to pick up Swifty's middle lane hero. And my money, honestly, is on that Templar Assassin at the moment. While G1, they're going to ban out the Puck. Beyond Infinity has a ban on the board as well. The Viper ban would play well into Beyond Infinity's Templar Assassin pickup as well. Now, G1, they're looking for a middle laner of their own now. Perhaps they could pick up the Templar Assassin and run a straight up tri lane with the Slark, Wisp and the Lion. That said though, I do like the way the G1's draft has panned out so far. It's versatile. They could choose to run a dual lane at the mid, or they could choose to run a standard plain vanilla tri lane at the safe lane. But the Templars actually going to get banned by Beyond Infinity here. I'm actually surprised they did that. I was expecting them to be the ones picking it up. So with the TA getting banned out, Beyond Infinity will pick up the Lina as their final pick. So they've got burst damage now to bring down the Slark. They've also got another stun in the form of the Light Strike Array, which can be comboed up with either the Storm Hammer or the Telekinesis from the Rubik. While G1, what did they go for as their last pick? A middle laner to deal with the Lina. When the TA has been banned out, they'll go with the Dragon Knight. And while the Dragon Knight may not be the best candidate to deal with the Lina spam and long range auto attacks, it's as good as they were going to get. And come mid game, they're going to have a very tanky and a very mobile lineup to take successful team fights. A fairly even draft so far from both sides, I have to say. The Wisp synergizes with both the DK as well as the Slark. And they're also going to be augmented with the Inner Beast aura from the Beastmaster. But as we get this show on the road, ladies and gentlemen, it's Dota 2 EX from Philippines on the Radiant going up against Beyond Infinity on the Dire. For those of you just tuning in, I'm ClouDx from AFK Gaming, and this is going to be a best of one matchup with one of these two teams getting knocked out of the Manila Major SEA Open Qualifiers. Beyond Infinity on the Dire side, you've got Swifty handling the Lina, Blizzard on the 1 position Sven, Barosai is going to be playing the 3rd position Night Stalker, Zerisbug on the Lich, and No Chance on the Rubik. Meanwhile, over on the Radiant, you've got NCs on the Beastmaster offlane. You've got Kira playing the Wisp with Slark handled by Lep. Lion's going to be played by Tats, and Prof STZ, or Professor STZ, or is that Prophecy, on the Dragon Knight. So standard lanes, we're going to see a mid DK with a possible mid Wisp as well. He started with no items, just a Fairy Fire, so he is looking to get that early bottle. And this usually is indicative of a dual middle lane. Swifty is coming in to drop down an early Observer Ward on the cliff, but Wisp has now revealed that it could be a setup. Swifty could have been brought down there. There's also a Hawk being sent towards the top rune here, which should scout out the fact that Swifty is going to be by himself. There's also a Radiant Observer Ward already placed down by this Beastmaster. Let's see if No Chance... Oh, his Sentry Ward just barely within range does manage to find the D Ward. As No Chance and company will now be able to stack the neutrals for the Sven to farm as they continually push out the lane towards the tier 1 at top. So both bounty runes going to be picked up, 1 apiece. One picked up by the Wisp for his middle laner, while Lina will pick up the bounty rune and get herself the salve. Meanwhile, Beastmaster, he's already skilled up the Call of the Wild and has that boar summoned, which should allow him to zone out the Lich a little bit, along with well, actually it's Lich going bottom, so they're going to run a dual lane at this bottom side, trying to starve out the Slark as much as they possibly can. Slark's here by himself for the first few minutes of this game as Stats will be rotating back. He's dropped a Sentry Ward down in the middle of the lane, but the Dire Observer Ward is a little further behind as opposed to the usual spot out here, so it's not going to get dewarded. Good read there by Beyond Infinity. Let's have a look at how much vision that Observer is giving. A fairly decent amount. On top lane, this should be a good lane for the Beastmaster to be in. There's very little kill potential on him, especially when he gets the double boars out. In fact, No Chance will have to be very careful about his own positioning, as this Beastmaster, he started with a Stout Shield as well as a Ring of Protection and can really tank up the auto attack damage coming out from this Rubik. Looking back at bottom lane, Slock. He's doing okay in the CS department, just 3 for now. He did get zoned out by the Lich, and you've also got to remember that Zetisbug with the sacrifice, he's going to be able to deny a creep every 3 waves, at least with the level 1 sacrifice. And that's going to slowly but surely put the Slock further behind in terms of experience. They've also got an Observer Ward placed down on the side, which means that a gank from the Lion and a possible rotation from the Wisp will be scouted out, which should keep the Night Stalker and the Lich very secure in this lane. In fact, I do believe there's kill potential here for Beyond Infinity, especially if the Lion oversteps his boundaries. Right now, that could have been the case. Oh, the Void's actually going to go on the creep, and Barosai will pull the creep wave back into the lane, resetting the creep equilibrium. So a cheeky play coming out from him, disrupting the pull and the stack from the Lion here. Meanwhile, no chance, getting some money off of that Hawk kill. No first blood has been spilled just yet. We're 2 minutes in now as Dota 2 EX. They seem to be falling a little behind in the CS department. At middle lane, Lina's up to 13 CS while Dragonite's at 11. Not too much of a difference, but still a minor lead here for Swifty, given that he's going up against a dual lane. While the Wisp will now duck himself into the jungle and continue stacking up these camps, possibly for the Beastmaster or the Slock to finish up later. If I were to predict where first blood's gonna happen, I feel like it's gonna happen in this bottom lane. Although I'm not entirely sure who's gonna be the aggressor and who's gonna be on the back foot here. I really don't expect this Beastmaster to die up top. At least not until the Sven gets up to level 6. In fact, now Beyond Infinity is even going to reset the creep equilibrium again by pulling them to the side, denying some EXP for the Beastmaster. Never mind that. Beastmaster is going to stay on the low ground and leech that EXP again. He doesn't have a point in the wild axis, so he's not really going to be able to steal some of these neutrals at the moment. But with the creep wave now meeting back at the center of the lane, closer to the tier 1 tower on the Dio, Beastmaster will be zoned out under his own tier 1 tower as well and forced back into the jungle. Fortunately for him though, he's managed to pick up the Iron Talon in good timing, which will allow him to stay efficient and relevant. Meanwhile, top rune is going to get claimed here by Kira, as the Dragon Knight with the Breathe Fire slows down the Lina and prevents some of those auto attack damages from stacking up. Rubik's coming in as well. They want to turn this around. Kira, he could be in a bit of a pickle here. He'll get lifted, thrown back up onto the cliff, and with the Dragon Slave, they'll score first blood on the Wisp. That Dragon Slave though, level 3, doing a lot more damage than I had anticipated, while at bottom lane, they managed to clean up on the Lion as well in the jungle, so a kill does indeed take place at the bottom lane, and just as the first nighttime sets in at that, Barosai gets himself off the mark, which puts Beyond Infinity in a 2-0 lead, 4 minutes in. 30 CS on the Sven. He's looking to get himself a kill as well. They're going to start with the Warcry. The Fate Bolt not bouncing onto the Beastmaster there from no chance. Miscalculation. But he's going to get body blocked. This is awful for NCs, but he does have the Iron Talon and does manage to cut himself a path. They get a few more auto attacks off before they start pummeling away. They've got another Fate Bolt or a Telekinesis. They're going to use neither, as Beastmaster will be zoned away under his own tier 1 tower. But now that I look at it, I'm fairly confident that the Beastmaster would have died if no chance had connected that first Fate Bolt. He did have the second one coming back off cooldown during the chase. However, Lina's forced to make a base trip back at middle lane. She's up to level 6 now and has that Laguna Blade ready to go. We should see Swifty teeping out to another lane. NCs, he's going to be in trouble here. Lifted, thrown back into Blizzard's loving arms. He drops a Stormbolt on his head. With the Warcry movement speed, they're going to run him down as Blizzard scores himself a kill, putting Beyond Infinity in a 3-0 lead now, as they've won every single lane in the early game phase, getting a kill across the map. Barosai, he's looking to run down this Slock. Slock's at level 4, Barosai is at 5. This is the power of the Lich dual lane that we were talking about. Lion's coming in to offer some support, but with the Void, they're going to force out a salve at the very least here on this Slock. While Lina's going to find herself an Invis rune. It remains to be seen if she's going to make a play on the back of that. Meanwhile, at mid, DK, his farm rate is starting to get accelerated a little bit. He's got 3 points in the breathe fire, which should allow him to stay alive here with the damage reduction on the Lina. However, he is susceptible to being bursted down on the back of a secondary stun or a slow from the Night Stalker even. However, Barasai is content to just leech the, well, pretty much free farm in this bottom lane. He's at 28 CS. He's out muscling the Slark in the lane as well. Without sugarcoating it, Beyond Infinity are really cruising through this early game. Swifty's got the Invis Rune pop now. The Breathe Fire did not connect on him. There's the Dragon Slave to start things off, but he's not going to drop the Light Strike Array on top of it, as Kira is standing just behind with the Overcharge ready for that damage reduction. A quick peek at the graph will reveal that Beyond Infinity is 3000 gold and EXP ahead. They've got a strong start out the door here, with Swifty pretty much finishing up his drums now in the next 2 minutes or so. Dota 2 EX though, their timing window is going to come when the Beastmaster hits level 6, and that's about to happen right about now. With the Primal Roar online, perhaps we'll see a rotation coming on from the Beastmaster. Lion's already going to pop a smoke, and he is making a wrap around here, possibly going for this bottom rune and then rotating towards the middle lane for a kill on the Lina. Top rune's going to be secured by Kira as well. While top lane, they're going to get the stun off along with the God Strength. They'll secure another kill, the 4th one of this game, as Beastmaster gets sent to the grave. Well, so much for the timing window on the Beastmaster. Swifty, he's looking to run down the line, who drops a Hex as well as an Earth Spike, but Swifty's got the movement speed on him. 360 versus 290. The Light Strike Array will not connect, but it's going to be... Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. He doesn't have the mana for the Laguna Blade. Pretty certain a Laguna Blade would have sent Lion back to hell. Now looking at Zed's bug, there's a stacked camp of neutrals just waiting to be cleaned up here by Swifty. On his Lina, drums already online for him. Well, back at mid, the Dragon Knight, he's pretty much got his power treads and a bracer, making him a little more survivable now. He'll be in excess of 1000 HP, and he's no longer a victim to Lina's burst combination. There's a scan drop down onto the Beastmaster, and they will reveal his position. He's still got that Primal Roar online and yet to put it to use. And it looks like they're going to start rotating towards this middle lane, but unfortunately for them, they're going to find nobody. In fact, Beastmaster even drops himself a solo smoke as he's hunting behind enemy lines here. This rotation will not be successful unless Swifty decides to TP back mid, but Swifty's got a good 1000 HP on himself as well. They're going to TP to the tier 2. That's going to dispel the smoke on this Beastmaster. No chance he's going to see him. Starts with the Fate Bolt. Does have the Telekinesis. Lifts him. Throws him back. Steals away the Wild Hawk as well. And that's a foiled gank attempt as Lina TPs in on the tier 1 at mid. Their tier 1 will stand. And now looking to pincer trap NCs. He'll leave the bow behind. He's coming in with a Primal Roar. Drops it onto Swifty. But they'll already get the kill with the Frost Blast thrown down. The Chain Frost now bouncing around on the Wisp, as well as the DK, who gets stunned in his tracks, lifted into the air, thrown back down the cliff, and with a stolen Breathe Fire, no chance, will send him to the grave, making it a 6-0 now. In fact, they're looking for more as no chance is chasing down. We're gonna go look back on the backside as Lep has the double damage rune on his Slark. Looking to make a play here. Now he's getting run down. He does have the Shadow Dance, but the Dragon Slave from long range will secure another kill for Swifty's Lina, making it 7-0 now in favor of Beyond Infinity. Well, so much for the timing window from Dota 2 EX. That Primal Roar not put to the most optimal use. Lich even hitting level 7 now, and with that Chain Frost working against the IO Tether, they managed to get a few kills. In fact, Wisp goes down yet again as Barasai and Swifty run him down, expending the Laguna Blade for that kill. 8-0. 7,500 gold ahead. I'm really wondering how Dota 2 EX bounces back from this. Sven's been free farming for the most part. He's got the helm and he's also managed to get himself the Yasha now. There's no stacks in the jungle at the moment for him, but they do have a couple of ancient stacks. Zed is bug. He's got himself a sentry ward, and he will find the D ward on the ancient camp. Things running perfectly right now for Beyond Infinity. I'm trying to think of ways to come back here for Dota 2 EX. I don't want to count them out just yet, even though it is an overwhelming lead in the early game phase here for Beyond Infinity. They've always got the Slark, whose farm rate is pretty darn absurd, but you're also going up against a Sven, whose farm rate is arguably the best in the game. Bottom lane, they're jumping in with the Shadow Dance, but they've chosen the wrong target. The Nightstalk is probably the tankiest hero in this entire game. Kira will go down, as it's now Lep's turn to suffer a casualty. Barasa is going to get stunned up. They will be able to bring him down. Nope, scratch that. They're even going to have to commit a Primal Roar. He's still alive, but he will finally go down. The Chain Frost now bounces around, back onto the Beastmaster, then onto the line. He goes down. Lina comes in. Laguna Blade onto the Beastmaster, as it's going to be a 5-man team wipe secured by Beyond Infinity, who sacked just their Night Stalker, who literally soaked up everything but the kitchen sink from Dota 2 EX. That was not a worthy trade indeed for the boys from Philippines. Beyond Infinity just continue to flex their muscles and roll with the punches here all across the map. And Blizzard, he's not even been a part of these fights.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
His team is creating all the space that this man needs to continue free farming while he stacks the Ancients as he pushes out lanes. This guy is gonna be on top of the net worth charts for the foreseeable future. Alright, we're looking at Kira now, back in the middle lane. He's still struggling to get that relocate online, but at this point, he's nothing but food for this Lina. Every time they see him, they're just gonna drop a Dragon Slave and a level 2 Laguna. Ooh, that smoke is a little questionable. Kira did get spotted out there, and we're already seeing Beyond Infinity grouping up near the Ancients. Blizzard did clean those up, and with that, he should have his full Sanj and Yasha finished up for himself. Beyond Infinity even has this Observer Ward drop down deep, which means the smoke was most definitely scouted out there. What on earth is Dragon Knight doing in so deep? He's gonna get lifted, thrown back, and blown up under his tier 1 tower. The chase is on. Barasai expends the darkness. They're gonna turn for the line. He does get the Earth Spike off, but he'll drop to No Chance, who's now on a dominating streak. Barasai, he's not content with this just yet. He runs in forward, silences up Kira, and then Discipline kicks in. The results of training, ladies and gentlemen, as Barasai will not commit under the tier 2 tower. Given that Dota 2 EX has low respawn times on their heroes, they'll just be content with taking down this tier 1 at mid, while Blizzard continues to do his thing at top lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There's stacks in the jungle though, and again they're gonna be stolen. That was Wisp stacking possibly for the Slark, but Beyond Infinity has already cleaned up, leaving a trail of corpses here in the jungle. Well, Lep gets just a couple of creeps off of that. 14 minutes in, Beyond Infinity with a 15-1 kill lead. Dota 2 EX, all their movements are being scouted out by this intelligent ward that's been placed down, and they just cannot seem to find a break. The Beastmaster though, his item progression does seem to be continuing, as his Necronomicons will be coming online soon, but with the ice armor on that tier 1 tower, they've even got the fortification available. Beyond Infinity look like they could contest this. You've even got the Sven coming in from the side. He's gonna spot out the Lion, but Lion drops a high ground observer and hexes him before he can get into position. Barasai gets stunned in the face. They've got the Storm Hammer. They'll drop it onto the Dragon Knight. Relocate is available defensively should it be used, but no, they'll silence him up with the Night Stalker on the front lines. They'll finish up on the DK behind. The Chain Frost gets thrown ahead with the Laguna Blade cleaning up on the Beastmaster, while the bounce goes on to Tats. He'll get stunned with the Light Striker, and Swifty will secure the kill on him with a Dragon Slave. Another 3-0 trade. Swifty's onto a wicked 6 streak. Dota 2 EX finds nothing, while Beyond Infinity will take an objective off of that in the form of a tier 2 tower at mid. No chance. Gonna buy them Tombs of Knowledge now to keep pace with his allies. In fact, he's outpacing the Night Stalker in terms of experience as a support Rubik. Not too shabby at all. Lich almost has his level 11 online, and his mechanism is not too far out over the horizon either. Well, Blizzard, he does have the money to buy out that Blink Dagger should he choose to. And more stacks are up for grabs here. It's an open buffet across the Dota 2 world for this Sven, as he finds stack camps not only in his own jungle but even in the enemy camps. Dota 2 EX, they've been spooked and everything is being revealed by now. An observer ward that's been placed closer to the secret shop beyond the tier 2 tower at mid. Beyond Infinity though, eyes on the prize, they'll move again onto the tier 1 at bottom lane.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And with that, Beyond Infinity is going to secure themselves some more money in the bank. While the starvation continues for Dota 2 EX. Drums finished up though for this Dragon Knight. Let's see if he can make anything off of this. He's a little more tanky, but with every item that he gets, Swifty gets 2. He's got the Ethylence and a full Yule's almost finished up now. Scan's going to reveal the Wisp's position here at the middle lane. Beyond Infinity will position accordingly. They're probably going to wait for the next night time before making a play, although they do have the Darkness available. And Night Stalker's getting mighty close to his Aghanim Scepter over and above that Vanguard that's already been picked up.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Top lane, NCs. Looks like he's finally going to find an objective for his teammates. The first tier 1 tower claimed here by Dota 2 EX. As the Beastmaster now has his Necronomicons online, at least the first level of it. But the trade-off will be a tier 2 tower at the bottom lane. When you're playing from behind though, you'll take what you can get, and Dota 2 EX, they're doing the right thing so far. It's the next best thing that they can do to tapping out. Trying to get as many trades and preparing for their high ground defense. But with a Blink Dagger already picked up on this Sven, who should be building towards a BKB as his next item and should have that Aegis claim before the next fight. This really does look like an uphill battle for Dota 2 EX. Slock, no item progression on himself whatsoever. The tier 2 at top, it will be taken down, and again, knowing that they cannot contest Roshan despite knowing on the back of this observer ward that Beyond Infinity has moved into the pit, Dota 2 EX will make another smart decision to get themselves some more gold before the next team fight commences.
Roshan has fallen to the
And with that, you'll have 2 levels of Necronomicons finished up on this Beastmaster, while Dragon Knight, he's inching closer and closer to a possible BKB of his own. Well, no chance on Barosai. He'll group up at top. 300 gold to go before he gets the Aghanim Scepter online. Night time's gonna kick in another couple of minutes as well. And they're gonna have the benefits of an Aegis on the Sven, the flying vision, the flying night vision from the Night Stalker, and the Yule Scepter Ethylence on that Lina. They've also got a mech now for survivability, which means that Dota 2 EX, they'll have to pull off nothing short of a miracle here to hold their axes for the next few minutes. Slock, what does he go for here as his next item of choice? I don't see a gem picked up or any form of detection on the side of Beyond Infinity just yet. So perhaps the element of surprise could come into play if the Slock gets himself a Shadow Blade. But with 2600 gold in the bank, I really don't think it makes sense for him to hold on to the buyback gold. It's all or nothing right now for them, and indeed he will buy out the Shadow Blade. Beastmaster, he's trying to get those level 3 Necronomicons online before the next fight commences. Those could really provide a power spike for Dota 2 EX, but I doubt he's gonna get it by the time Beyond Infinity reaches the base. Their charge continues. Barosai sticks around on the side, skirting around the periphery as the tier 2 tower drops to the hands of the Sven. Tier 3 next on their hit list. There's a Hawk already positioned offensively here. As Slock's moving in, he wants to initiate. He's gone in on no chance. They'll start with the Dark Pact and the Pounce. No chance. Gets mech'd up by his allies, but the Finger will finish the job. He's down and out for the count. Blizzard, he's taken a beating as well. Swifty drops next. Beastmaster, they're doing it. The Wicked 6 streak has been taken away. Now Barosai gets stunned under the tier 1 tower. His mana's been drained away as well. Lep continues to chase. Dota 2 EX, we asked for a miracle and they seem to be delivering as Barosai is going to drop next. The money that's changed hands here in a 3-0 exchange in favor of Dota 2 EX cannot be underestimated. That's a 4.3k gold swing back in favor of the Radiant side with a 5.8k EXP swing as well. A quick look at their items. Dragon Knight gets himself the Blink Dagger on the back of that, while Slock, we saw him just barely picking up that Shadow Blade. Now he's got another 1100 gold in the bank. Beyond Infinity, did they just make a mess out of that team fight? And is it too much of a mess to clean up now? We're seeing the graphs already spike back upwards a little bit. They've still got a significant lead and they didn't really lose the Aegis there on Blizzard. But indeed, the element of surprise from that Shadow Blade seemed to work in their favor. But that element of surprise looks like it's going to be taken away now as the gem gets picked up on Barosai. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. BI will not let themselves be fooled again as they get themselves the gem. And now start to move towards the bottom lane. Do they have a Smoke of Deceit available? Nighttime is about to wear off soon. But they do have the darkness available. They're moving bottom. Slock. If he gets silenced here, this could be troublesome. Remember, they've got the gem and the flying vision. The silence will come out. The dark pact isn't there. He does manage to get the Shadow Blade, but it's only going to keep him a little secure. Not secure enough. With the Frost Blast and the Dragon Slave from long range finding the kill. They're going to try and force the buyback here on this Slock, but he does respawn quickly. Hawk again going to be taken down. This is when the Beastmaster's efficacy really starts to reduce when the Aghanim Scepter is online. I'd expect Barosai to pop the Darkness to reduce the night vision on the side of Dota 2 EX when they go in for this fight. They're under cover of a smoke here. Blizzard does have the God Strength. They're going to go in. No fortification. Well, they do have a fortification available this time. Dragon Knight blinks in, gets the stun on Blizzard. They're trying to steal some of his mana before the next fight starts, but no chance. We'll heal him up with the Arcane Boots. The tower still stands. Fortification hasn't been expended. And for some reason, the boar has been tethered here by Kira. Beyond Infinity again. Being turned away from the gates of victory here. Dota 2 EX. Sticking as a 5-man unit and fighting to the best of their ability. Now Beyond Infinity is going to have to wait till the God Strength is back online. The top lane's even pushing in towards their side, so they're probably going to have to TP back and apply momentum to this creep wave here. And Barosai, no chance. They're up to no good. Standing on the high ground. They've de-warded everything that Dota 2 EX has dropped on the map. And they're looking for a pick-off. Scan. It's gonna scout out the Beastmaster again. But that scan will be in vain. As Beyond Infinity will group up and regroup again. It's 6 AM in the morning Dota 2 time. And Barosai, his wings have now been folded, which provides Dota 2 EX a bit of breathing room to continue farming. That's going to be the Blink Dagger finished up on this Beastmaster now, in addition to those Necro 3s. As for the Slock, it looks like the Echo Saber will be his next item of choice. The longer this game goes though, I've got to say I favor Dota 2 EX's lineup. They've got the Dragon Knight to be the piece of meat on the front lines, while Slock is arguably one of the best late game cores in the game. Sven, he's starting to reach critical mass as well. He's actually opted to pick up an ultimate orb here. I'm not entirely sure what he's going to finish up with that. Perhaps a Lincoln Sphere to deal with the Primal Roar. Once he's got the BKB and the Lincolns on him, he really can't be stopped in his tracks. But Beyond Infinity, they've got to... I really feel like they've got to commit a little harder on these next few fights. There's actually no buybacks. Well, okay, they've got 2 buybacks on the Slock and the Beastmaster on the side of Dota 2 EX. But Beyond Infinity, rather than just popping the God Strength and pummeling away on the tower, I really feel like they've got to jump in and make some plays. The last time we saw them playing the Night Stalker in a similar lineup, we've seen Barosai running straight up onto the high ground behind the tier 1 tower, and then he stands here and attacks into the tier 1 tower, being the bait. And when Dota 2 EX, or when their opponents come and start using spells on the NS, that's when the Sven, Lina and the rest of the cavalry arrives for Beyond Infinity to try and turn a team fight in their advantage. With the gem online on the Night Stalker though, I think he's being cautious for fear of losing it. Dota 2 EX though, they're just gonna stick around in their base for now. The graph seems to have stabilized and flatlined at that 15,000 mark for now. They do have 2 smokes available on no chance here, and the way Beyond Infinity are grouping up leads me to believe that they might be looking to make a play now. Although it does look like Sven spent his money. It will be the Lincoln Sphere finished up on Blizzard. He can no longer be stopped once he pops his BKB. It's still a brand spanking new one with a 10-second duration on it. He hasn't had the opportunity to use it efficiently just yet, so they've got that working in their favor. Roshan's gonna respawn in 2.5 minutes now, which is also why Beyond Infinity is not forcing the issue. They're probably gonna try and get the next Aegis, although it does not look like the Sven can hold on to it. Maybe the Lina will, after dropping down that town portal scroll. Smoke's been popped. Beyond Infinity, they're gonna walk under the Hawk. It's not gonna spot them out. This Observer Ward will scout out the Lion though, and I think Dota 2 EX will be okay with sacking their Lion here. For staff forward, Lion's still pretty darn fast. He's even got the Blink Dagger in addition to the Tranquil Boots, which allows him to get away. And meanwhile behind, Wisp might not be so fortunate. Lift is not even going to be needed actually. They're just going to run him straight down. But they do manage to force out the darkness from Badosai, as the rest of Dota 2 EX back away inside their base. Well, I think that's actually a fairly decent maneuver here for Dota 2 EX. If you really want, if your opponent's pop a smoke gank and find your 5 position Wisp as opposed to one of your cores, I think you're okay with that if you're Dota 2 EX. They've also revealed all the positions on the side of Beyond Infinity now, which allows the Slok to farm offensively, while the DK applies momentum to this middle lane. Back at bottom, Beyond Infinity grouping up as a 5-man unit again. It is nighttime now, and Badosai is feeling confident again. The Slok, he's opted to pick up a BKB instead of the Echo Saber here. Blizzard once again pops the God Strength and goes to work on that tier 3 tower. He'll force out the fortification. Blizzard, his Lincolns has been triggered by the Lion. 10 seconds till is back online, and that's the moment for them to shine. They'll jump in with the BKB on the Slok, laying into Blizzard. He's holding on to his own BKB. They'll throw everything but the kitchen sink at him. A stolen Primal Road gets thrown onto the Slok under cover of his BKB, while Zetisbug's Chain Frost wreaks all sorts of havoc on the back lines, finishing up on the Lion. That's the tier 3 down. Dragon Knight next on the list. He'll hit the deck as well. Buys back immediately. He still has the Elder Dragon form, and Beyond Infinity, recognizing the threat that the Dragon Knight's buyback poses, will back away. The Necronomicons have been summoned as well by this Beastmaster. And Beyond Infinity, I think they got what they came for. They got a couple of kills, forced a buyback, got the tier 3 tower, and will back away to claim Roshan, who has only just respawned. As they're about to duck their heads into the pit, there it is. Badosai sees it with the flying night vision. Darkness will be used as well to stunt the vision that Dota 2 EX's Hawk provides. So this is what Dota 2 EX sees right now. Look at that Observer Ward. It barely scouts anything out when darkness is expended. They're playing completely blind here. However, Beyond Infinity, they're not moving into the pit yet. They want to find a pick-off, and again, it looks like they might find Kira, who does manage to tether back to his high ground. This smoke though, they could use it to breach high ground and find a pick-off inside the enemy base. Dragon Knight, he's gonna get stunned up. Blizzard's already popped the God Strength. Defensive relocate will not be there. The Yules cancels it out anyway, as Kira is gonna get sliced to bits. The cleave from Blizzard works its wonders even on the Lion. It's a 3-0 now. A dieback on the Dragon Knight, making it 4 now as Lina cleans up on the Beastmaster, with Blizzard jumping up and carving straight through backdoor regen on those range Raxes. Beyond Infinity, they've breached high ground now, and they'll do it through backdoor region without giving 2 hoots. No chance, even toying with his opponents now. As the full Aghanim Scepter finished up, that's the first lane of Raxes, a hole blown inside the enemy base by Beyond Infinity as they're moving on to the second set. 20 seconds. 20 seconds till the Beastmaster respawns, 15 till the Dragon Knight's back online. BKB is not going to be available for another 30 seconds on this Slok, and it looks like Dota 2 EX might be on the ropes here. I really don't see them coming back from this, but they have proved me wrong with that top lane team fight in the first place. Maybe they could pull off another miracle here. 2 lanes of Raxus down. Beyond Infinity is going to back off. They'll take the Aegis before coming back for round 3. While G1-Ex is left clutching at straws here with a 25,000 net worth and EXP deficit. Smoke's gonna be popped. G1-Ex, desperate times call for desperate measures. If they can find a successful team fight outside their base, we could see a bit of a turnaround. But BI, they've got wind of this. The Slark with a missed bounce finds himself in a compromising position. They're going in on Bado side. They blink forward, but again, that's probably the wrong target. Possibly the tankiest hero in this game. Here comes Blizzard, along with the Chain Frost. They'll work wonders, bringing down the Lion, Ayo, and the Beastmaster. Next, it's going to be the DK that falls, with Slark the only survivor, getting Yules into the air. Swifty's going to chain it up with the Light Strike Array, and that'll be another 5-man team wipe, which should lead to the GG call from G1-Ex. Although Roshan will be claimed here. And there it is. NCs will call the GG. They know that they've been beaten. Beyond Infinity will now move on to the round of 16. While G1-Ex, unfortunately, this is where the journey ends for them. Well, folks, it really looked like G1-Ex were on the verge of making a big comeback after that top lane team fight, but it just was not meant to be. We'll be coming back with the next game. Beyond Infinity's match will be what we're watching. Thank you for tuning in, folks. It's an absolute pleasure casting these matches for you, and it's great to see some kind words on the chat. This is ClouDx from AFK Gaming, taking a short break and coming right back with the next game for the Manila Major Open Qualifiers. Stay tuned.